And it's a very good morning on the 5th of the 6th, 2026 of June, Friday morning, to all you lovely people. Good morning and welcome to another video of the Federal Alliance of Southern Africa. As we wait for everybody to press that join button, let me have some coffee before it goes cold. It's chilly in the mornings nowadays as the winter approaches for June, July and August. And as you can see, I'm warmly dressed. And coffee is important. Lekker man. In any case, we are looking at, Andrew, good morning. We are looking at the eradication, optimal, rapid eradication of organized crime. Rudy, good morning. We need to understand that organized crime is a big problem in South Africa. You know, those people that were murdered in the Kruger National Park, I believe they found the murderers in Mozambique, which means there was an extensive manhunt for them. And they found them. But that's not organized crime. Mani, good morning. That's not organized crime. Organized crime is what we have in the tender arena. We have organized crime in the building contractors department. We have organized crime in water, electricity. We have organized crime in all our municipal areas. And we have a lot of it. We even have organized crime in the taxi industry. You know, where they want to force you out of a car and you need to drive a taxi. And children cannot get to school, people cannot get to their workplaces, etc. We have a total brain-dead society at this moment that's controlled by a corrupt government. That's what we have. We have a lot of work, Andrew, and Rudy, and Mani. When we kick this thing, when we start this thing, we have a lot of work. And we have to be so careful in what we do. Organized crime also concerns prostitution, drug trafficking, murder for hire, theft of farm animals. That includes murders of farmers, etc. Organized crime involves a riot that is set up, that marches down the streets, cheering and shouting for some ideology. Yet the main purpose of the organizers, of the fringe organizers, is to make sure that their cronies are in the crowds so that they can steal. Organized crime is ATM robberies, ATM transport robberies as well. So we have a huge problem. We have to get to a point in society where people that do the wrong thing fears the peacekeeping force. I will, don't worry. I will. So, let's have a look at some of the things that I've put out there, which will still be discussed by the Federal Board. For a new government inheriting a corrupt, crime-infested state, what do? Phase 1. We do decapitation strikes the first 30 days. Chop off the head of the snake. The first 30 days. Boom, 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 boom. Objective: cripple cartel or mob leadership and financial networks. The banks will need to be involved. The only thing that these guys will have is cash. And there's not a lot of that going around nowadays. So we stop them financially. But here's the thing. Our financial networks are also corrupt. And we need a special task force for that. That task force will have to go in first. Block all transactions to the outside world immediately. Immediately. From day one, you enter into the main hub of these banking institutions and you get the CEOs and all those guys and you say, if anybody does a transaction, we'll shoot you. That's it. All right? Anybody does any transaction. So you freeze all transactions. You get everybody on board. You freeze all transactions. And that's everybody that has a certain amount of money in their accounts will still decide a figure. All right? Let's say you have more than $1 million in your account. $1 million plus. Your account gets frozen immediately. Because the average South African does not have that kind of money. All right? And then we take it from there. Within a few days, it will be fine again. But the crime bosses and those guys will be identified and their accounts will stay frozen. As a matter of fact, that money will go to the state within a few days. All right. Good. Point number 8, we need an intelligence fusion cell. The sources: we turn former corrupt officials, offer amnesty for intelligence. We infiltrate gangs with loyalists, ex-criminals, fake defectors. We hack encrypted chat networks, NSA-style tools via contracted cyber firms. And our output must be daily kilo capture list, top 200 targets every day. Every day. If you get a list of 200 and you've gone to 190, the next day there must be another 10 names on that list. Every day. Kilo capture. All right? Pete, I hope you are well, Pete. I haven't seen you on a video for a very long time. Welcome, brother. Here we are speaking English. I've done making videos for the Afrikaner and the Boer. It's now the Englishman's time. All right? I promise you I won't try to do that in German. Ich liebe nichts. So I won't make German videos, but I've made for 4 years plus. I've made videos in Afrikaans and I've spoken to the Boer community. Now the Boer can still listen, but in English. And English people can listen as well. Right. So we have to be quick. We have to do lightning raids. It has to be quick, guys. Units, peacekeeper commandos trained in Israeli German tactics. That will not be there immediately, but it's a good idea. Then we have a shadow force. We call them the hounds. They do the deniable network, wet work. You know what's wet work? Weet julle wat's nat werk? Wet work. Shadow force. Call them the hounds. Their tactics has to be simultaneous pre-dawn raids on 50 plus locations. Safe houses, banks, docks. And we make a public spectacle of it. We live stream the arrests of crime bosses. We make a mirror stock market arrest playbook. Guys, we have to be quick. We have to be surgical, like a doctor, a professional doctor, what do they call these guys? A surgeon, right? Your incisions have to be smooth, quick, certain, sorted out. And I bet you there's 101,000 Boer groups that have never even thought about this stuff. Ons sal nie probleme uitsorteer wanneer ons kan. Nee. You have to do it quickly, decisively, immediately. Right? Financial annihilation, which I touched on. Seize all assets, 1 million plus without trial. Emergency decree number 1. That's your emergency decree number 1. Seize all assets, 1 million plus without trial. Right? Burn physical cash, public auctions of luxury, or we auction it off luxury goods, propaganda value. Right? Remember I mentioned, Jan, good morning. I mentioned we have roadblocks and we pull off all these flippin' Ferraris and Maseratis and you name it. Werner, good morning. We pull them over and we say, where did you get this car? How did you get it? And we don't care if it's, if you know, how can you tell me where I buy my stuff? Yes, we can. Because most probably in the criminal mind, the very first thing that they buy is a flashy car. A flashy car is the first thing that they buy. Right? So you have roadblocks. They won't be able to take the friggin' cars out of the garages, man. Right? And the ones that we do not find, we'll find them via the sports car sellers, dealerships. We'll find them. We'll root them out. And I don't care what their skin color is, we will root them out, because I'm telling you, white collar crime is just as important as your black crime bosses. Okay, so we do crypto tracing, blockchain bombs, we render wallets unusable, right? We render it unusable. Because crypto is out there in the global arena, right? And wallets have digits. So you have to be wise. You have to be seriously wise, right? Phase 2, territory control, 30 to 90 days. It will go quicker than that. But 30 to 90 days, we do a neighborhood cleansing. We need places like in the Cape, Manenberg, Mamelodi, Soweto. Not the whole of Mamelodi, not the whole of Soweto. Sunnyside, Pretoria, right? We need city sweeps, peacekeeper city sweeps, 24/7 patrols with embedded tribal liaisons. In other words, you have to have a Zulu speaker, Xhosa speaker, etc., etc. They're all part of the peacekeeping force, so they can get the answers quick. And we get them from a community policing plan, right? Checkpoints, fingerprint scans for known gang affiliates. Incentives, cash rewards for reporting arms caches, and we pay it in crypto, we pay it in digits. Right? We don't use cash. We pay it in crypto, or we pay it in digits, so that these guys can have something else. People will be freaking, they will come forward. Hulle gaan hierdie ouens opgee, soos in môre. They'll come forward. Why? Because we are living in poverty. These guys will come and they will spill the beans. They will give all the information that they can, like immediately, right? That's what they will do. Then we'll alternate alternative economies. It doesn't mean alternate. Alternative economies. Yesterday, wat dag ek nou vas in Engels. We create jobs. We conscript ex-gang members. We talk about guys that have done theft, right? Not murderers, rapists, that kind of stuff. Those guys we get rid of. But conscript ex-gang members into labor battalions. Road repair, we do that, right? That's one of the things we said. We build a shadow force. We call them the rats, right? They become licensed street vendors and they sell intel. We need to know what's happening on the streets. And we need to know as soon as possible. I mean, you know, these Africans that are selling stuff at the traffic lights. You make him a street vendor. You give him the goods for free. 100, 200 units of whatever they're selling. You give it to him for free, but he has to tell us, he has to give us information. Right? Then you do a black market replacement. Now this is an important thing. This thing must be done if necessary only. We call it state-run narcotic sales. This is a crucial thing, this. We undercut the cartels, then lace with antidotes to kill the addicts. Yesterday, that's a robber, you know. We have to get them off the streets. Either we go the harsh way. Now this is up for discussion, guys. Right? When I do something, I go hard. I go full on. Alright? I go full on when I do something. I go hard until it's done. Okay? And when I do it by any means necessary. That's important to understand. By any means necessary. Alright? So what we will do is, we'll maybe make a public declaration and put it out there to the public. Is there any family member that is an addict, a drug addict? You have to report them now. Whether it's your son, your daughter, your mother, your father, your niggie, your neefie, doesn't matter. You report them now. The peacekeepers go in and they swoop them up. and we clean them out. We clean them medically. We get them on the right track and we set them up in a job. Because by the time that they are cleaned, ladies and gentlemen, there won't be any drugs on the streets. And the people will be too scared to freaking manufacture these things. We'll clean it up once and for all. Papa was gaan skoonmaak. Then we have psychological dominance, and we call it night and fog tactics, right? These are just names that I'm putting out there. That doesn't mean that this is what they're going to be called, but this is the idea. Night and fog tactics. We disappear mid-level operatives. We dump the bodies in rival territory. We go hard. Graffiti campaigns. We have graffiti campaigns, man. Snitch or hang, your choice. Right? Tell the truth or you get hanged. Your choice. I'm telling you what, they are going to want to do the vendor thing. They're going to give those guys up. They're going to go all the way. And most of this won't even be necessary. Phase 3 is an important one. We call it the institutional purge. This will take about 90 to 180 days. But notice this. We actually start this from day one. We actually start this from day one, right? The objective, Anton, good morning. The objective is to ensure crime cannot resurge via corrupt institutions. All right? We do a law enforcement reset. That's what I did, right? Remember we spoke about it. We do a law enforcement reset. We fire all officers above the age of 30, 35. Get rid of them. They are all corrupt. They are the highest corruption risk. Before we fire them, we'll do a bit of a vetting process, because we will need some of them. We replace them with conscripted peacekeepers and vetted defectors. Now what we do is, we polygraph these guys. Have you ever stolen anything? And if he lies, that thing will tell us. If he says yes, then we'll say, okay, from who and where? If he comes clean, it will be a different story. Because he'll just be another gang member, just another thief that needs to be sorted out. All right? But sometimes you have to bring your enemies close. You know this, the adage. You bring your enemies close and you keep your friends closer. Or is it the other way around? You bring your friends close and you keep your enemies closer. You keep an eye on them. You know what they are. You know what they have done. But you use them to achieve your aim. Once you have effectively used them, you get rid of them. Right? We have courts, we have military tribunals for organized crime cases. There's no appeals. There's no appeals court in a tribunal. Right? This type of tribunal, a military tribunal. There's no appeal. If you lose, depending on the action that you as a criminal took, if you lose, you're dead. That's it. End of story. Get rid of the rubbish. Alright? Give them an opportunity to pray and say, Jesus, I'm sorry. And then we send them home. Alright? Get rid of them. Because they will always be a plague in society. Look at the gangs in the Cape, man. They're just a plague and they're getting worse. It doesn't matter what your color of your skin is, right? You are an innocent unless you partake in those things. How many colored children are killed? Not only colored children, white people have been killed like this as well. African people have been killed, murdered. Now here's the thing. I am no racist. I believe in segregation. All right? However, I also believe in the sanctity of life. Because I believe God created all nations, tribes, and tongues, according to Book of Acts, chapter 17. Right. We have to, is it Acts 17 or No. Yes, I think it's Acts 17. However, it doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, I believe in segregation, but I believe in the sanctity of life. The sanctity of life is important, right? Dave, good morning. If you have a African person staying next door to you, if you treat them with respect, you won't have any problems. Your gardener, your housekeeper, if you treat them with respect, yes, sometimes they take a chance. We know that. But you have to treat them with respect and dignity. They are not animals. They are not dogs. They're created by God. And we have to keep that in mind. Then we'll go to the youth inoculation in schools. We'll do a mandatory anti-gang curriculum. Ex-members confess on video, etc. After school, we do MMA training to redirect violent impulses. The schools are sick. Not the top schools, but yeah, let me tell you something. That in top schools, you can have drugs and pornography and all that kind of stuff. Schools are sick. Then border siege. Now, as I said before, prior to I started talking, or during the speech, as I said, we need to do things simultaneously, right? So one of the things we'll do, obviously, is to say to the illegal immigrants, run. Okay? However, when they run at the borders, we'll do a border siege. All the goods will be checked. Everything will be checked. We have shoot on sight orders for smuggling routes. We have PSC run drone patrols contracted from guys who can do that. Then phase 4, the new normal, 180 days. We legitimize the anti-crime regime as permanent. We do a victory parade. We highlight stats. Homicides down by 70%. 3 billion recovered for schools and hospitals. We have symbols like a national holiday. We call it Purification Day. Huh? Jan, Purification Day. Andrew, Werner, Dave. Purification Day, Anton. Cleansing Day, Rudy. Skoonmaak. Call it Purification Day. And that's not a holiday where you sit on your backside and have a braai. No, Purification Day will be a cleansing day. Clean up day. Make sure your suburb is clean, taken care of. If not, we report what's wrong to the municipality so that things can be sorted out ASAP, right? Then we can do a controlled opposition. Remember, there has to be controlled opposition. Like, for example, you have to allow some petty crime. When I say petty crime, we talk about street gambling, for example, right? You know, when they draw this thing on the tar, right? And they have this, and they throw the dice. And you move 2 places, or it's whatever they do. I don't know what they're doing, right? Street gambling, you have to allow those things. Rather give them some room to breathe than to stifle them completely. Okay? There has to be some elasticity. Not much, but some. When the guys are throwing the dice and a peacekeeping force comes walking past, they don't have to run. They can just greet the officers politely. And the officers can say, who's winning? Give them some breathing space. All right? Some breathing space. I remember back in the day with my grandmother and even my mother when she was young. there was something called there in the Cape. I don't know if it was in the Transvaal or the Free State as well, but there was something that was called Fafi. I don't know if you guys remember that. It was called Fafi. And the people used to play Fafi for 5 cents or something like that. There'd be numbers involved. You draw a number. There'd be numbers involved. And the Fafi runner would go from house to house, collect all the 5 cents. Right? And then the winner, when the number is drawn, the winner would get the bucks. That's petty crime. We have controlled gambling in South Africa. Controlled gambling with all these lovely gambling places are just thieves run by cartels. There is no fair chance for any gambler of winning. There's no fair chance. Either they will change the rules and make it a bit easier, because there are people that just do that for their entertainment. We can't just cut that head off immediately. People enjoy going to a place where there's machines, there's restaurants, there's whatever there is. They love it. Right? But there must be a fair chance of winning. It's not just a matter of throwing your money away. And there must be a 100% control of gambling. If the company picks up that you are there too frequently, then you will be banned. All right? Banned. Because then you are a gambling addict, and we don't want that. So we'll find out by the psychologists what is the better option. You know, if it's 20 times a year, is that fine? Is 10 times a year fine? Is 50 times a year fine? Right? That's all. If your card that you swipe goes in the 30th time, that's it. That's your final time. If you go 31, you can't go. You're not allowed into the area. Important. We need to control, because these big places like that, they're mafia controlled from the United States. I'm telling you, they're mafia controlled from the United States. Right. Then we have eternal vigilance. We have a unit that's called the Permanent Anti-Mafia Directorate, with unlimited surveillance powers when it comes to criminal activities. Loyalty, staffed by orphans of crime victims, indoctrinated since childhood, these guys. Execution rules. Here's some heavy stuff here. Because we don't want any half measures. Execution rules, no warning. First strike must erase 30% of cartel leadership in 72 hours. No PR mistakes. Public relations is important. All violence is either televised for deterrence or completely hidden. You need to make choices. No half measures. Amnesty office expires after 7 days. Then it's graves or labor camp. Is that too harsh? Is dit te rough? Amnesty office lasts only for 7 days, expire after 7 days. Then it's either labor camps or the grave. You choose. I think that's the route to go. It's not just the cleaning up of buildings and the rebuilding of buildings and roads and getting the municipalities sorted out, etc., etc. This has to be a total purification process. It has to be in totality. From the word go. It has to be done in totality. We can't mess this up. Right? Here there is no second chances. Now tomorrow, you guys, is an important day. It could turn out to be our finest hour tomorrow, where we cut through the rhetoric, we lay down a basic plan, and those who join us become part of the plan. So tomorrow is a crucial day. Later this afternoon, by the grace of God, I'm going to be working on my speech. I've basically got 16 minutes. 8 for the Federal Alliance and 8 for the Boere Adviesraad. 16 minutes. I'm going to try and work it in, both elements into one speech. And I'm trusting the Lord for guidance with this one. Mense, ek vertrou die Heilige Gees met hierdie speech. Because this could be it. This could be the final speech. The speech that opens up doors. This could be it. This could be it. So I need you guys to understand that we are effectively working. Even though we're still working on apps and on, trying to build something and get something that's good out there, we are still working. We are still talking. We are still busy. And we are not ineffective. And the reason why we know we're not ineffective is because other leaders steal our ideas. But the one thing that they cannot steal is the law documents that we have. It took 12 years to make. They don't have that time. It took 12 years to produce. Now I'm speaking under correction. 10 years. It started in 2012 and it finished in 2020. No, 2022. It started in 2012, finished in 2022, and then was handed over to the United Cape States, with whom we have an alliance. The one cannot succeed without the other one. That's where we are. And this must be implanted tomorrow into the heads of these guys. When we walk away there, it has to be walking away in unity and not divisiveness. Although, depending on the amount of guys that are going to rock up, there are going to be guys that are divisive. But we won't give them an opportunity for that, right? We will not give them that opportunity, not at this meeting. In any case, Freelanders on a Friday. Freelanders. 9:05 today, I hope the Brumbies smack the New Zealand teams. I really hope so. There's the top 6. There are 2 Aussie teams in the top 6, and the New Zealanders are talking as if they are the best in the world. I hate that. Ek haat dit soos 'n passie. So I hope the Brumbies can do a good show, and even if they win it with 1 point, that'll be fine. So let's see what happens. I'll listen while I work. In any case, Freelanders, Englishmen, Boere Afrikaners, Portuguese, Scots, Finns, Swede, Venda, Pedi, Zulu, Xhosa, different nations to build a nation. And we're going to do it right, and we're going to do it effectively, and we're going to do it as soon as possible as God opens the doors, right? With God, unity is strength. There's no other way. You guys must have a fabulous Friday. You must have a great weekend. If things go according to plan, then maybe, possibly, over the weekend, I'll make a small video of what happened at the meeting. And because we strive for transparency, right? Transparency is important. We strive for transparency as far as possible. Some things everybody must know, some things not everybody should know. Right? That's how it works. But we strive for transparency. So other than that, then Monday morning's video, then I will come up and speak about the meeting and do the next session and take it from there. Have a fabulous Friday and a fabulous weekend. Cheers, mate. Have a good one.